clay pebbles, but you can use river rock as well, and they'll do the same process.
Which one are better?
These are definitely better, but the price of this would, one of these beds would probably cost the same amount to fill this entire thing with this material.
Oh, okay.
So
but
they're pretty
does the
cheap.
same serve the same purpose?
It does, but these are going to be harder to plant in because you know, they're heavier.
You cannot plant it, just the filtration use, yeah.
There's not as much aeration because each one of these stones on the inside of it, let's see, well, you can see on the inside, is like lava rock. It has a lot of tiny holes.
Okay.
The main purpose of this rock, not only for aeration as that water flows out, is for a home for that bacteria. Each one of these little holes creates surface area, and that surface area is great to trap some of that solid waste and let it stay in the system to convert. You don't want to flush it out. So by getting trapped on this rock, it will stay in here for a long time. It will have a chance for the redworms to find it. It will have a chance for the microbial bacteria, Nitrosomos and Nitrous Bacter, to convert that from ammonia into that nitrate through the nitrification cycle. Now, it's not like a microwave where we can take that waste product and send it through our filtration mitigation, send it in here, and then flood and drain, and then immediately it drops down as a nitrate. That happens over time. And so because we're a recirculatory system, we can consistently flow that water through a large capacity of gallons of water. That dilutes it to the fact that even if we supplied a ton of ammonia and it didn't convert in here and it flowed through these beds, it would have so much area to go before it would go back there that the actual solid waste would never culminate in a huge amount of ammonia. But these systems over time, a 13-month period of time, will go through the nitrification cycle over itself. That means it will peak in ammonia, drop, peak in nitrate, the second form of second form of nitrification, and then drop. And then third form of nitrification, nitrate, it will peak and then stabilize. When you stabilize that, you can keep this system active and really moving for a long period. Like I said, we're about 4 years.
Let's say somebody's starting totally fresh. How long does it take time to be stable system?
About 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Ideally, they say 13 months is your peak stability, but right at 3 months, you can be producing commercially.
So let's say let's say you didn't start this, and somebody right now asking you to do the, green farm right now, or whatever the way you want to grow organic stuff. Where will you start, and what will you do?
I'm not too sure if I understand your question. You mean?
What I'm saying is, just let's say you are just starting now. Now you have experience of this.
Yep.
Putting this all the experience, total experience in line. What would you totally, let's say there is another opportunity, what would you change and do? What different you will do?
From this system to that system is really what our experience has taught us, and that's what we've moved into. We haven't overcome the technology advancements that we've made into this system over here. So we've made our pipes much larger, allowing frictionless movement of that water. We've really maximize our production capacity because you never touch a head of lettuce from this side to that side until it's ready to harvest. So all these heads in here require zero maintenance. Why would you need to walk up and down these rows? You don't have to pick up the boards ever. So by maximizing the production, by making that entire pool is really what we do in this situation. Now moving forward, what I would do if I had a complete autonomy on capital and whatnot, I would go vertical because we are controlling the environment in here, but only to a certain degree. You know, it does get kind of cold and it does get kind of hot, and we do have to use a lot of electricity to navigate between those two. Not only that, but if you were in a controlled warehouse where you can dial in that number at 72 degrees, your lettuce is going to grow much quicker. But not only that, if you're stacking these up, this 3,500 square feet might produce up to 12,000 heads of lettuce a week out of the same thing.
Yes.
But the LED lights will even drop down that time from one side to the other, maybe from 4 weeks to 3 weeks. So now you're pushing up 15,000 heads of lettuce a week. So the math works out, but the capital to do that really doesn't allow for people like us to do it. The systems that are out there right now that are vertical are backed by Goldman Sachs, by IKEA, by multi-million-dollar investors like Richard Branson. These things will cost, upwards of millions of dollars just to install the electricity necessary. But also, like I said, that 3 month period of time that you're growing, you're growing with LED lighting and you're not making any money off of that product, but you're probably paying a electricity bill in a $5,000 range.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah, what you could do though is pre-sell it. Because if you're smart, you're already selling.
Right.
And
If it's pre-sell, it's done.
that's the farmer's dilemma. Is
So, but now
you can't pre-sell much.
Exactly,
No one,
exactly.
everyone wants you to have a product. They won't buy it until you have the product, and you can't get the
So
client.
now vertical cannot be done with the green farm instead of LED. Not possible. Not enough exposure to the light.
Yeah, there's just no way unless you got some really cool mirror technique in there to bounce the light up from there. And,
Right.
But it would look more like a pyramid effect, you know,
Correct.
because everyone would need square footage.
Right.
True.
So I haven't seen that ever. But to save
Arizona, I heard somewhere they are doing the green farm with the verticals. I was surprised to look at it, but I think they might have some of the poles of lightning on the side of the bottom part of it. They might have half LED, half sunlight, whatever it is.
Well, with
But-
LED lighting, the electricity requirements are getting decreasing.
I have a solution for you later on.
considerably.
That's what we're going to sit down and talk about, okay?
We
So-
that entire tray table over there that's supplied with LED lights when they're
Yeah.
all on, they're all running off of 120 amp breaker. That's it, and it never
LEDs
breaks,
doesn't
so-
doesn't
take
use a lot of electricity.
Not only is
Does
electricity,
not heat up anything.
Not at
and
all.
doesn't
and
heat.
So you
and
have
some
to
of the
cool
some
it
of the
down.
part of it, like some of the LED colorful lights produce like it does more
Efficient
production.
results,
Yes,
yeah.
It, more ROIs comes out because of the more production because you use the different color lights.
Right.
I think plant likes the colorful lights.
Yeah.
So it has a red or blue something
and
combination of.
that's definitely a part of the time frame of when that lettuce head is experienced that lighting. So like I said, they're only in there for 2 weeks. If we were to have red light, that's more of a veg light. So the red and blue lighting is more for it to grow from that size, maybe to halfway down there,
Oh, okay.
really productively.
Got it. Okay. So
But-
you don't need that because you have sunlight here. So.
And most germination plants will use the white light up front because of the red and the blues they don't have full access to because they don't have a lot of leaf structure. That leaf structure obviously is what attracts the photosynthesis effect to happen.
Got it. Okay.
But here, we'll be able to see this one down here a lot closer.
Harpolia જોયો હતા ને? Okay, send this.
So these are going to be our radishes. We're doing a test run with those. But like I said, everything
So
that
this one
grows
you
in
will
here-
grow fully, right? That is okay to do
Yep.
without hurting anything.
Oh yeah, these beds usually have more tomatoes than that one
Have
does.
you tried ginger or anything else?
Yeah, we've tried ginger, tried carrots. A lot of that, uses this resistance to grow its carbohydrates necessary, but it hasn't taken much nutrients out.
What is the time frame for the radishes?
Right now, we're looking at, I think there might be a tag around there. I'd say they've been in there for probably
No, I'm kidding.
since the beginning of October.
Can you bring one out if you don't mind, please? Just one, please.
ठंडू पानी भरवाना ठंडू environment temperature
So you can see
Oh,
that's
yeah.
starting. That's going to be starting. They still probably have another few weeks to go.
Oh, okay.
Once they can get to this point, then they just soak up and get fat. But
Right.
it takes a long time to get them to build to that point.
Oh, okay. So how many weeks so far?
I'd say it's been about a month.
Oh, okay. So around 6 weeks in a time.
I would say
maybe?
8 weeks.
Okay. Okay. So is it worth it in the way that by occupying the space square feet wise? Did you ever study on those or no?
No, we never really did any kind of other than experimental in these beds. We never got it down to an inventory production just because we focus so much on the deep water space.
Right.
Because if you do look at it as an economical standpoint, if you were to produce a lot of these products, they take a lot of time, but also the square footage that you would need would be probably amount to about this out here, and that would have to be filled with rock media. That's expensive even if you were using river rock. Not only that, but it would also be heavy as hell, and you would need exponential amount more waste product to get through because this acts as not only a great grow space, but also a filter. So if your entire system is a filter, the plants at the end aren't going to have, you're not going to be producing enough waste. You would completely take out those filter tanks on the deck if you had the majority of media bed because
So
you
you need more
waste.
fishes and more
You need more
larger tanks.
It all works backwards. in a math problem.
And another thing is kind of this bed worth is this one is almost like what portion is costly, like 3 times, 4 times?